Hi, third grade, it's Mrs. Parsons. I hope you had a great week. This week I get to see a lot of you for live art. So if I haven't seen you, sorry I missed you this week, but if I did get to see you, this is what we were talking about in our live class. We're finishing up our Keith Haring projects. So you're gonna wanna grab your started Keith Haring and also grab the markers that you were using, either the warm colors or the cool colors. You're also going to need a black marker. Now, a black Sharpie is probably going to work the best, but if you don't have one, any black marker will work. Just make sure whatever marker you pick, it's okay that with mom and dad or you're at the adult in your house that you're using it. Grab all those things and I'll show you how we're going to finish this project up this week. So third grade, you can see on my example that I showed at the very beginning of this project, we need the lines around our Keith Haring figure to cover the entire paper. Last week I had you do only half of the lines around our Keith Haring figure. This week you need to go back using those same colors, either the warm colors or the cool colors, and finish those lines. Now I had shot this video and showed you how me filling the rest of the project in, but I made a mistake and the video didn't shoot quite right. So you're gonna see me doing it really quickly in just a minute. But here is the finished project with all of my lines going the whole way around. For right now, don't worry about our little Wi-Fi lines. I'll explain those in a minute, but you can see my lines continue in that pattern that I started last week. They continue filling the entire paper. And as you're doing this, you'll notice the more lines you get, the lines go off the edge of the paper. So you're just gonna follow them off the edge of the paper. Like if you follow this line here, this orange line, it goes off the edge and then it comes back over here. So I just follow it off the edge and follow it back when it comes back on the paper. So it's gonna go off and on. But as you go along, you're gonna notice that you're really only gonna be putting lines in the corners because the middle is gonna fill up quicker just based on where we have our figure. And the corners are gonna fill up last. So just watch this video that shows me really quickly filling mine in, and then I'll explain these little lines here, these action lines, but they also kind of look like Wi-Fi lines. So these action lines are something that Keith Haring included in a lot of his work, and it just made it look like the figure was dancing, it was moving, it gave action to his art. We're also going to add those just because it adds a little bit more to the project. Now these are already done on here, but you're going to draw them. They were always in groups of 3. And the best place is to draw them around the feet and the hands. And they're kind of like a little bit of a grin or a frown. They're not a full smile. They're just a slightly curved line. And as they curve, they get a little bit smaller as they go back. So each one is a little bit smaller than the first. The biggest one is going to be closest to the hand or foot. And you can see here too, they're also thick, almost like a bubble letter or a block letter. I would draw these in pencil first, and then go back and fill them in with Sharpie. And in a minute, you'll see me doing it really quickly in my video. I'll show you how to do it real quick. So one by one, just fill those little action lines in, your little Wi-Fi lines. And you really want to try and get go on the pencil as much as possible, because to erase the pencil now over top of the marker is not going to work real well, and it's actually going to erase some of the marker, especially since we didn't use Sharpie for the colored part. So really try to make sure that you're going right on top of that pencil mark, maybe even just a smidge over to make sure that you got it all. And you can see it just makes it look like it's moving a little bit more. It really makes it look like it's dancing, which is what Keith Haring was all about. So they're great. I hope you had fun with this project. I have my example from the very beginning of this project, which does not have the action lines, and you can see what a big difference those lines make in the two different projects. If you don't want to add the action lines, that's fine, but I really think they add a lot to it, so I'd really like for you to add them. I hope you had fun with this project, and now that we're done with this, that means that next week we're going to start with something new. I'm so glad that I get to see you guys in person this week, and I'm hoping you're loving this project, and I will see you all real soon. Have a great week. Bye.